Hi everyone and welcome to Joe Reviews. As I've been building out my desk setup, I've slowly accumulated more and more accessories. So recently, while working, I sat back and thought, if I could only pick my 5 most important accessories, what would they be? Before making a list, I thought of 3 things. Number 1, what items do I use the most? Number 2, what items provide the biggest improvement in my quality of work life? And number 3, value. What items provided the biggest bang for the buck? Alright, let's get into it. Starting this list off in no particular order, the Logitech MX Master 3S mouse. There's a reason why this mouse has so many positive reviews. It's one of the most ergonomically pleasing mice I've ever used.
It is ergonomically correct.
It fits my hand like a glove, and while I've never given much thought about a mouse, since I purchased this one, I'm hooked. The mouse is part of Logitech's MX Master series line. This line also includes keyboards, which I have their MX Mechanical keyboard. However, I'm not including the keyboard in the top 5 because while it's certainly a great keyboard that I use almost every day, I don't think it provides as much of an improvement in my quality of work life as much as this mouse. The mouse just provides more time-saving features. From my thumb, I can control 3 buttons and a side scroll wheel. With the MX Master 3S, I can use a side scroll button to zoom in and out on a document or in Photoshop. I can also use it to scroll horizontally across cells in Excel. Or you can customize it to do numerous other things like control volume, navigate between tabs, or a keyboard shortcut of your own choosing. There are 2 buttons right by the side scroll wheel that work great for going back or forward a page when exploring websites, or using it to undo something in Word or Photoshop. The button I use most, besides the left click button, is the gestures button. Since your thumb conveniently rests on this button, it's simple and efficient to navigate between apps. By clicking it once, it brings up Mission Control, where you can see the apps you have open on your desktop. Pressing it and moving the mouse left or right lets you move between full screen apps or desktops. I'm constantly changing between apps and screens, and this button just helps me save time when navigating around, as do the back and forward buttons along with the side scroll wheel. By giving my thumb something to do instead of just resting when controlling the mouse, it helps me be more productive when working or saving time when just using it to browse the web. Battery life has been amazing. I charge it once every couple months, depending on use. When I do need to charge it, the USB-C port is conveniently located in the front of the mouse, so I can charge it while using it. If the battery is getting low, there is a red status light next to the side scroll wheel that lights up. If you have multiple computers or a tablet that you like to use your mouse on, you can easily switch to them by clicking the button on the bottom of the mouse. I have mine set up to work on my iPad Air and MacBook Pro. Switching is nearly instantaneous after pressing the button. The scroll wheel on the MX Master 3S feels solid. Made of machined steel, scrolling through pages feels precise. By clicking the button near the scroll wheel, it engages free spin, which allows you to quickly travel up or down a page with lightning quick speed. Oh, and these buttons are customizable too. I have mine set up to zoom in and out on a timeline in Final Cut Pro. The Logitech MX Master 3S mouse earns a spot on top desk accessories for its time-saving, productivity-enhancing features. Battery life is great, and it's just a joy to use. For any great desk setup, you need things that help you be as productive as you can be, and this mouse delivers on that. My one major complaint about this mouse is I've had times when the side scroll wheel acts up and doesn't always work. Otherwise, I'd highly recommend this mouse. Next item in my top 5 wouldn't have even been in my top 20 about a year ago, but now I use it every time I'm working on my computer. The BenQ Screen Bar Halo has become one of the best items in my desk setup. Now that's a bold statement for only a light bar, but I feel like it's really helped with my eye health. Most of the time spent at my desk is later in the evening or early morning, and during these times, it's typically dark out, which means that my office/spare bedroom is fairly dark besides a couple accent lights. Since having this light bar, I felt less eye strain and find it easier to look at my monitor for extended periods of time. I'm usually looking at a computer screen for the better part of the day during my 9 to 5, so to come home and work more on the computer can take a toll on eye health. But since having this light bar, I've noticed a difference in how my eyes feel. Besides the health benefits this light bar provides, I like how well it lights up my desk area. It brightens everything within my workspace, but without it ever feeling like it's too bright. Which brings me to the controller for this light bar. The small circular wireless controller allows adjustments to the brightness, temperature, favorite settings, and more. To make adjustments to either temp or brightness, simply select which one you want to adjust and spin the ring around the controller to adjust it. Lighted dots appear around the controller showing what level you're at when adjusting. There's also the ability to turn on or off the backlight at the bottom. The controller is powered by 3 AAA batteries that I've yet to replace since purchasing about a year ago. The controller and light bar seem solid and well built, especially the controller. I was surprised how heavy it feels. The light bar easily attaches to just about any monitor by just opening the clamp and letting it rest on top of your monitor. The light can rotate in and out, allowing you to choose where to shine the light on your setup. I have mine set up nearly all the way towards the monitor. Despite the way I have mine situated, the light avoids bouncing off the monitor and producing a glare. To power the light, it plugs into any USB-A outlet. My only real complaint with this light is that although the clamp is easy to use, it doesn't have a tight hold on the monitor. When adjusting the rotation of the light, you need to keep one hand on the clamp to keep the light from moving. Besides the clamp having a light hold on the monitor, the screen bar halo is a must for anyone who spends most of their time working in a dark room. Next up is the latest addition to my desk, the Vivo monitor desk mount. This replaced a previous mount I had, also from Vivo. What I like about this new one is the ability to better conceal cables and the pneumatic arm. With an adjustable gas spring, it's super easy to adjust the monitor up and down. Previously, if I wanted to adjust my screen either up or down on my old monitor mount, I'd have to loosen a screw, move the monitor, and then retighten the screw. Now, I'll admit it's not an adjustment that I made often, but it's nice to be able to just lift the screen with a couple of fingers versus going through all I just mentioned. A monitor mount was one of the first accessories I bought for my desk. The stand my monitor came with took up a lot of precious desk space. By having a monitor mount, it's helped free up space and created a cleaner look. Monitor mounts can be a little spendy. Some single monitor mounts go as high as $300 or more. While these arms do have some better features and have better parts and materials, like bearings and springs, I don't think they match the value that this Vivo monitor mount provides. At $60, Vivo offers an extraordinary value in a monitor mount. It feels heavy and well built. I'm able to move the monitor in basically any direction and can rotate the screen 360 degrees or tilt it 90 degrees. This mount works with screens up to 32 inches, but there are options for more wider and larger screens. As mentioned, this arm does a good job at concealing cables. By taking the cover off both arms, cables can be squeezed into the arms. I wish there was more room to hide the cables in the arms. On the bottom arm, I was hardly able to get everything to fit inside. If I were to add anything else, such as a camera or another light for streaming, I wouldn't be able to conceal those cables well. Besides that, I can't recommend this Vivo monitor mount enough. It's well built, easy to assemble, offers tons of options for monitor movement, and is affordable. Moving on to number 4 on the list are more lights. The Screen Bar Halo is a great productivity light, but these two other lights from Govee give my space a moody vibe. A couple well-placed indirect lights can really enhance a workspace, which I think makes a person more productive. You might be asking, well, how can that be? First off, if where you work has harsh lighting or no lighting, then you're in an environment where it's tougher to work, or at least it makes it tougher to want to work. The work I do at home in my office isn't for my 8 to 5, but for my work after work. It can be tough to spend all day at your normal job or career and then try and muster the strength to work on your side business or project. Creating a space that's enjoyable to work in and inviting lowers the barrier to entry and I think makes it easier to keep working. As I mentioned, these lights are from Govee. I have the Floor Lamp 1, which since I bought it, Govee has released a newer version with Matter support and a lighted base. I have mine plugged into a smart outlet so I can turn it on and off with Siri and use it with Apple Home. I like the simple minimalistic design. I have it positioned to better highlight the wooden panels on the walls. I think it looks great set up like this, but I wish this version was available in black like the new one is. It comes with a controller that magnetically connects to the light. This is great for guests in this room who need a way to operate the light. To control it, I typically use the app, which allows you to set up different color schemes. There's really no shortage of customizable color options available for this light. It's almost overwhelming everything that can be done. You can choose from preset options or choose colors for individual sections of the light. Temperature and brightness can also be adjusted. Of course, all these options are the same for the strip lights behind the monitor. I used to have monitor lights by Wise, but this light strip 2 from Govee is Matter compatible and much brighter, which, since this setup is next to a dark wall, I needed lights that are bright to better light up this dark space. Since it is Matter compatible, I can have Siri adjust the color or brightness. I've had these lights on the monitor for a few months, and I've been impressed how well they've stuck to the monitor. There's nothing falling down like my previous lights. I was surprised how well these two lights brighten up my office, even in the daytime. They add a subtle brightness that transforms the room from dull to more upbeat. With the light shining away from me and against the wall, it achieves the type of look I want for an office, moody and well lit without it being too bright or harsh to look at. The new floor lamp is about $100, and the light strip goes for around $60. Similar lights can go for much more, but these have proven to be durable with no issues. Finally, the last item on this list might be a bit surprising, but it checks off daily use and value. I recently purchased an under desk mount holder for my PS5. By mounting the PS5 under my desk, it's opened up so much more room on top. By opening up more space, I've been able to add a headphone holder and keep my iPad within reach. It was simple to set up. It came with a template that I used to drill some pilot holes into. Then I lined the brackets up with the holes and screwed in some screws. The arms that the PS5 rests on have rubber pads to avoid scratching my system. There's also a screw to connect the base of the PS5 with one of the brackets to keep it from moving. It works with the original PS5 disc and digital versions. For $26, it was a cheap way to free up some space, but still allow me to keep the desk multifunctional between work and play. I've mentioned in a previous video that I don't game as much as I used to, so it's nice to be able to have my PS5 nearby in case I get the urge to play again. If you have a PS5 that sits on top of your desk, but would like to have more free space, then these brackets are a great choice. They're affordable, well-designed, and easy to attach to just about any desk. Before wrapping this up, I want to add one runner-up that should have made the list, except for one major problem. I purchased a 3-in-1 charger from Nomad. I have other chargers from them and a phone case. I've only had positive experiences with them so far. They had released this new Stand 1 Max last fall, which had everything I was looking for: the ability to fast charge my watch, charge my AirPods, and the ability to charge my iPhone in standby mode. My Apple Watch charges extremely fast on this charger. Typically, I only have to charge it for about a half hour a day, and it's good to go. It has a sleek, modern design. Taking it out of the box, I was surprised how heavy this felt. Made it feel like it was a quality built charger. However, I had issues with it consistently charging. It would randomly stop charging my phone. I contacted Nomad about it, and they sent me a new charging station. I was slightly disappointed the first one didn't work, but was happy they were sending a new one free of charge. However, even with this new one, it still occasionally has issues. It will stop charging my iPhone, and to get it to work, I have to unplug it and plug it back in. It's not the worst thing in the world, but this charger costs $150 and doesn't come with a charging brick. For that kind of money, there shouldn't be any issues. I have to reach out to them again and see if they'll replace this unit as well. If I didn't have the issue with having to unplug it and plug it back in to get it to work, this would have easily made my top 5. Now that's it for my top 5 desk accessories. Let me know if you have any favorites in your own setup that you'd like to share. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you for the next video.